for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my
Now we're cooking. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are...
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. And third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. From the gun, Winston. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Third and short yardage, Winston. That's caught by Howard. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
That throw is not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talk to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first. On
second down, it's Cook. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Winston keeps it himself. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. And now out comes Minnesota. So the D-line. Got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, you can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
The pass on Let's go, baby. Let's go. Result of the play is a turnover on down.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it, make them do it again.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running right, Jones. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They go back to the ground. This time, Barber trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. And that's the first connection, the number 1 overall pick in 2015, finding the number 7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Jones. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. 1 back in the game. That's Jones. 2nd and goal. Jameis to throw it. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So a very tight first. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards. First down. From Viking territory now. They'll come up first and 10 at the 37-yard line. Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
After the sack on first down, Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's just one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, as you would just say, take your foot off the pedal. Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
Draw play, Madison, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 35.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
At the Bucs 29-yard line.
From the 29, Cousins looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up a lot. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. In for the score as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Throwing is Cousins. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Shaquille Barrett able to put an end to that play, and in so doing, puts an end to this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Johnson's got it complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Throwing, Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On third down, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out. Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection. Jameis now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Again, it's Jones. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. After the run by Jones, here's first and 10.
Let's go.
Well, the Jets sweep. This is Godwin. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. One back in the game. That's Jones, second and goal. Winston here to throw. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, touchdown number 15 of the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more. Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year. I like how you use fortnight. Well, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Here's Cousins. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They're looking to throw this. Winston. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yes, sir.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Following the interception, Winston. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Everson Griffin in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great